Pre-orders for Nintendo Switch 2 were absolutely insane. If you were fighting online late last night trying to get one, you know this because websites were going down, crashing, Target was placing orders, then canceling orders. Walmart even had some reports of canceling orders after they went through. But once the initial first hour passed by, some of the dust had settled and pre-orders continued to fly. However, not everybody got their consoles. So whether or not you are somebody who already successfully secured your console or you're somebody who is still actively on the hunt, I want to update just what kind of situation we are in now, because Best Buy, they still say coming soon on their inventory, which means they could be gearing up for another wave of stock to hit. We also have a wild scalper situation to watch out for on eBay. I don't recommend you go through scalpers, obviously, but some of these are straight up scams and you want to at least be aware of them. GameStop's going live today. Their website crashed immediately. They've already been live at the time of filming. Not sure if they're totally sold out or not. And in person does seem like at GameStop might still be an option for you today in some areas if your local GameStops didn't sell through all their inventory. Then we have this My Nintendo Store situation, which is supposed to be going live on May 8th, but they did just issue an update around the shipping times for Nintendo Switch 2, and they're not necessarily guaranteed at launch day. So past all of the dust settling, I want to give you some tips and tricks to basically stay informed. And also, if you are somebody who's still trying to get a console, what you need to be doing now to try to still get a day one system on June 5th. So we'll unpack all of these details. Before we do, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your bell notification to join Sunbro Nation if you're new here. And I want to first kick it off with probably a reason why we saw the chaos that we did, which I was expecting a lot of this. If you were around for like the PS5 launch, whenever it happened, it was online only. Very similar vibes. Any of the graphics card drops that happen for new generations of graphics cards for PCs, also very similar vibes. When there's something that is just such a high demand unit that everybody is flooding servers that they don't normally go to these Best Buy, Walmart, and Targets in this volume. The servers cannot handle it. Things are too chaotic. Mistakes happen. Things fail. Technology is not perfect. And anyway, you can see a big reason for why we were experiencing a lot of the issues we were last night, where Bloomberg analysts expect Switch 2 to sell between 6 and 8 million units at launch. This would far surpass the launch record of 4.5 million set by the PS4 and PS5. Nintendo says demand for Switch 2 is overwhelming in Japan. So we touched on that briefly yesterday, but this is quite honestly what we are seeing happen and unfold. We are watching a historic console launch take place because we have an 8-year-old system that has 150 million plus install base, many users still actively plugged into Nintendo, and they want to be able to get this console day one. So we are seeing things where Nintendo tried to prep for this as best they can, and then Furukawa's statements yesterday was that, hey, we still are not good enough on our stock levels. We're going to try to ramp this up and make it right. We apologize. That's legitimately Furukawa's words here, that even with them trying to take extra steps to mitigate scalpers and try to flood the market with meeting market demand, it's still not enough. Now, quickly kind of transitioning to the retailer conversation, what happened last night and what you kind of want to pay attention to now. You do have Best Buy. They still show coming soon. All that tells me is there's no confirmed time for a restock, but Best Buy will be doing a restock at some point in time. Okay. Target, we just have a grayed out add to cart button. You could not go over there and do it right now at all. Walmart, which is just check availability for stores nearby, but out of stock completely. And then GameStop, their website's back up now, but just not available. So all of your major retailers at the time of filming are already sold out. If you are in line at a GameStop, because they're doing it based off their local store opening time, they have a sign on the window, most of them it seems like, where they verify how much inventory they received, and then you will be able to basically look and count in line if you were under that number or not. As the day goes on, if you're still hunting for a local pre-order from GameStop, I would just try to call your store, see how many pre-orders, if any, they have left, and if they have any left, just rush down there and try to get a pre-order secured with them. Not to mention, I believe GameStop's asking 50 down for the console, could be 100, but I believe it's 50 is what I was seeing online. They are doing a midnight launch, so that would be a system you could get on midnight on June 5th. I should quickly mention Best Buy also doing midnight launches around the globe, or around the country rather, here in the US, so you can actually get there that night of and pick up the console on launch night, which is a pretty cool deal. Okay, but then some of the madness that ensued. Some Switch 2 orders are being canceled at Target, and Walmart seems to be delaying some orders out to June 10th. June 10th, keep an eye out on your email. So two different things happened. One, orders were getting canceled from these retailers, mainly Target, I saw the issues with. And two, we also had a situation where there was not necessarily a June 5th estimated shipping date from Walmart and Target. Now, this came in waves, and I saw some people saying that they got their orders canceled. Other ones had no issues and they stayed. But it's just one of those things that, you know, check your order confirmations today. If you got one last night, make sure nothing has changed for you. If you did totally get a cancellation confirmation and no additional email for some kind of replacing of the order, I would check in on that again and try to make sure that you actually have a secured pre-order, so you're not missing out and thinking you're ready to go when you're not. Just keep an eye on things. You know, normally if a cancellation is going to happen, it's going to happen relatively soon from when you actually place the console order. So I think you're probably in the clear if you didn't get any of those emails by now, but still worth watching out for. Next up, shifting gears to the absolute madness that's going on with the scalper situation on eBay, and just a straight up warning for you guys and scams that are happening. And in fact, I just clicked this link right now before to check it, and unfortunately it says sold already, which is terrible, because if you actually read the details of this post, which at first glance, if you're just, you know, trying to check out right away, you think this is a $499.99 Switch 2 edition console for the Mario Kart World bundle, and it seems like it's not an inflated price. Everybody that says read description, you actually need to go in and do that, because I'm sure eBay will help refund these orders, but in this particular case, and what you're seeing a lot of scammers try to do, they try to say this as like they're not the bad guys, but the post literally says this is for scalpers and bots. You will receive a picture only, no refunds, please do not order. However, this says sold. It was just live a few minutes ago, so there are no doubt people that are making this mistake. Especially you think about the older generation doesn't look out for, you know, stuff like this sometimes, and they're just trying to get a Switch 2 for their kid or their grandkid, and next thing, they're tricked by a picture of the console, and they're fighting with eBay to get their money back because it's not a valid posting. Don't go the scalper route to begin with, but whenever you are seeing the $750 price points, that's what people are really asking for the actual console. You can find some for around the $670. You still don't want to do that. If you are still in the hunt and the fight for this console, you have a chance to get it. But everybody that's posting the higher prices may be selling you an actual pre-order. When you see all of these ones that just have the same retail price or even under the retail price, and it says read description or look in the description in the title, that is for sure a picture of the console, which is just a straight up scam to try to sell people. But here's what you need to kind of do at this point if you are somebody who's still trying to get the console. In fact, we'll get to that right after the Nintendo store, because this does tie into this. If you registered your interest to buy from the My Nintendo store, that is still a very valid path to go. And on May 8th, Nintendo is going to actually start sending out invitation emails for you to pre-order your console. However, similar to Nintendo of Japan, Nintendo did just make an update for the release date delivery timing, because they are overwhelmed with the amount of consoles that have been ordered here. So here's their newest statement: update about release day delivery. Thank you to those of you who have already registered your interest in purchasing from the My Nintendo store. We're thrilled by the enthusiasm for Nintendo Switch 2 due to the very high demand. We will be working diligently to fulfill orders as the product becomes available, but delivery by June 5th is not guaranteed. Your invitation email will arrive after the Nintendo Switch 2 launch. Excuse me, let me reread that part again because it's a big deal. Your invitation email may arrive after the Nintendo Switch 2 launch. We'll confirm the shipping date upon purchase. If you wish to increase your opportunity of obtaining a Nintendo Switch 2 system at launch, please visit our participating retailer partners above. If you wish to continue waiting for your invitation for the My Nintendo store, no further action is required after registering your interest. Okay, so this is very unfortunate. So it's probably based off of when you registered your interest and in some kind of order how you're going to actually receive this. If you missed out on this, it's not too late to register, I don't believe, but you do have to hit some requirements. You have to be a paid NSO member for 12 months plus, and you have to have at least 50 hours logged on your Nintendo Switch for gameplay. This is how Nintendo is basically stopping scalpers from creating new accounts and buying this. So anyway, those are two requirements, non-negotiable, to get into this purchase pool. However, they are just straight up saying that even though this is a pre-order and register your interest for pre-order, that you might not actually get the invitation link in some cases until after the console launches. So AKA Nintendo does not have enough stock at their own My Nintendo store to fulfill all the orders based off the interest that they are receiving. So while this is still a valid option, it's not necessarily a guarantee for pre-order for a day one console anymore. Now, what do you do if you are still on the hunt for a day one console? That's where it comes into having an X account and turning on notifications for some key accounts. I'll have them listed in the description down below. Go follow me while you're over there as well. I won't necessarily be tweeting out the live times, but these other accounts that I have listed will be watching this stuff. Jake Randall, Nintendo, as well as Wario64. You turn on all notifications from these accounts. You will get a lot of notifications on your phones, but these are the type of accounts that are going to monitor when restocks happen. So AKA, we were talking about Best Buy earlier, still having a coming soon button on their website actively. When that goes live and there's another wave of pre-order stock that will happen at some of these retailers, these are going to be the people that can go out there and actually try to help you get a console. So it's just going to be one of those situations where you really want to stay plugged in at this point to potential drops. And you know, if you can, GameStop today would be a shot for an in-person pre-order, but they may have already sold out at a massive scale. However, call first, and if they have pre-orders available, rush up there and go get it. Especially if you're in a smaller town, they may have not sold out of everything as far as the stock goes. I know a lot of people camped out. It seems like people who went early actually had a good place in line, so you may still have an option there. But past that, we're just waiting for retailers to potentially drop additional waves of pre-orders. So absolutely madness. I wish there was a better way to buy consoles in the modern day without all of this chaos, but for you guys that were in the live stream with me last night, it looked like about 60% of people got their pre-order and about another 40% of people did not. So definitely not Nintendo meeting all the initial demand, but no doubt it was broadly speaking, it seems like a lot of people did get their pre-orders, but still plenty out there on the hunt, and that's to be expected, unfortunately, in these situations. And sometimes it's just a luck of the draw type of thing. So let me know in the comments down below how you feel about everything. I was fortunate enough to get in my own pre-order at Best Buy, which I will be picking up at midnight, so we can be making content on it right away. But let me know if you're pumped for the Switch 2. Has this pre-order experience been good for you? Has it been a nightmare? Share all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below before you leave, regardless if we agree or disagree. Also, make sure you like, subscribe, turn your notification bell. And with that, I've been Sunbro, you've been Nation. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.